Project-based learning encourages students to develop a balanced, diverse approach to solving real-world problems, both on their own and also in teams. This prepares students for success in the real world like no other teaching style can. Project-based learning is a non-traditional education model. It seeks to better prepare students for solving real-world problems and issues while also teaching them what they need to know to succeed in school right now. It's structured curriculum around projects presenting students with multi-step problems to solve or asking them complex questions they are then required to answer. So what makes project-based learning so special? Project-based learning is structured almost entirely around projects, while a more conventional approach simply uses projects to reinforce topics that have been covered in a lecture. Rather than being purely academic in nature, project-based learning simulates realistic situations that children will eventually have to face in their adult lives. Research shows that when project-based learning is implemented correctly, it can increase retention of content and improve students' attitudes towards learning. Studies comparing the learning outcomes for students that were taught project-based versus traditional instruction show that PBL is more effective and it helps students perform as well as or better than traditional learners on high-stakes tests. Although it may seem that PBL is a new concept, it actually dates back as far as the early 1900s. John Dewey supported the learning by doing approach to education, which is the essential element of PBL today. It's also viewed as a model for classroom activity that shifts away from teacher-centered instruction and allows students to take the reins. Teachers who utilize PBL and also have taken part in extended professional development reported back that more teaching and assessment of 21st century skills took place in their classrooms because children are spending more time learning about important content through experiences that emphasize critical thinking, communication, and creativity. But you don't have to take my word for it, because research supports PBL. A growing body of research supports the use of PBL. Schools where PBL is practiced find a decline in absenteeism, an increase in cooperative learning skills, and an improvement in student achievement overall. When technology is used to promote critical thinking and communication, these benefits are enhanced. The difference is visible when you walk into a PBL classroom. It speaks for itself. Teachers seem to enjoy watching their students grow while developing skills they will need for the future. Research from the American Educational Research Association has illustrated the positive outcomes of PBL. Not only do I see my students as pupils, but I recognize that they are individuals with a voice. I have already begun planning different project-based learning lessons that will allow my students to go far beyond static learning. I want them to be prepared for meaningful challenges that they may experience in adulthood, and I want them to have fun while they prepare for those challenges. I would love for my district to do a social justice related project. I think that it would be exciting for kids to select a social cause about which they feel passionately and then have them research that topic. After they've researched the topic, they would be able to come up with a proposal on how to help the cause that they have selected. They could even take it a step further and implement their ideas in the communities. Planning a project is a lot of work, and it can be messy at first. There is bound to be a bit of constructive chaos when initially implementing PBL. But if you are patient and invested in your students, don't be afraid to make mistakes at first, and eventually your students will grow from it so much more than you ever expected.